So didn't this sort of thing happen to one other person? I believe this happened to a Star Wars writer before, and people are surprised that Disney's not paying what they owe? Let's get into it. What is going on, fellow board members? Welcome to the boardroom. I am Ords, and today we are taking a look at an article from IGN.com. Scarlett Johansson sues Disney over Black Widow contract breach. Interesting. Disney's the one that's being sued. I think it's sued all the time. But like I said at the beginning of the video, this is something that has happened to many of Disney employees in the past, and it doesn't surprise me that this is a thing. Now, you know, if you really want to break this down, you want to look into what the MCU has been doing. The money that they've been missing out on because people aren't interested, with theaters being closed and people just not interested in what's going on with the MCU, the woke politics in entertainment today. People don't want to see it. Marvel, Disney, they keep injecting these woke stuff into their entertainment and all this stuff, and people don't want it, and that's a big part, and I would say probably more of a part than COVID itself, because people want to go to the theaters, people want to get out, people want to have fun, but you know, when it comes to the product that they're putting out, nobody's interested. They don't like the comics. The comics are kind of trash nowadays, so it doesn't surprise me that this movie made such little money, and Scarlett Johansson you know, is going after Disney because yeah, they put it out on the Disney Plus release, and they were only supposed to put it out in theaters. Anyway, guys, we're going to get into the article here in a second, but before we do, if you guys are new to the channel, like this sort of thing, please make sure you hit that like button down below, hit that subscription button, hit the bell for notifications, all of that stuff. You guys know what to do with it. I would greatly appreciate it, and it greatly helps the channel. With that being said, let's get into the article. Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney over a Black Widow contract breach after the movie was released day and date on Disney Plus. This is despite Johansson's contract reportedly assuring her that the movie would be released exclusively in theaters. Now, I know this is like what they were talking about, or what a lot of people have been talking about, going, oh, we're going back to exclusively in theaters. I believe the Ghostbuster movie that's coming out, Ghostbusters Afterlife, is being only in theaters. Now, once these companies see the revenue, or when they saw the revenue that they're going to make off of the streaming services, of course, they're going to put it out day and date on their streaming services, because people are going to spend the $30 on top of the $10 they pay for their subscription, and I don't understand why. And I've said in many videos, I get like big families, I get why they would do that, but I even think I heard something along the lines they're going to charge, or they would try to charge people for how many people are watching at home. They try to do this in like sports with bars. They charge bars more for cable services for copyright issues, because people go to bars to watch sports. So they find every way to squeeze blood from a stone, no matter what it is. And it doesn't surprise me that Scarlett Johansson would be doing the same thing to Disney, considering the fact that the movie was such a flop and did not make a lot of money in the theatrical release. So of course the lawsuit comes, and honestly, I don't blame her. You know, she's doing her job. I'm not saying I'm a big ScarJo fan by any means, but she's doing her job. She did her acting job, and Disney kind of went behind her back and threw it up on the streaming service, charged people $30 on top of their $10 subscription, or whatever it costs. I don't know. I don't pay for that shit. So anyway, it doesn't surprise me that this is happening, and like I said, with these streaming services seeing what they can actually make with the home viewings, and I think that Disney Plus is trying to keep up with HBO Max. I don't know, all I gotta say is, Disney, get your shit in order, get your legal shit in order, man, and realize what you're doing. This news comes by the way of the Wall Street Journal, which reports a large part of Johansson's salary was based on the movie's box office performance in theaters. Because the movie was released on Disney Plus, sources familiar with the lawsuit say the move to streaming cost Johansson more than $50 million. That's kind of a lot of money, $50 million. I could live very comfortably for the rest of my life and then some on $50 million. To quote, Disney intentionally induced Marvel's breach of contract without justification in order to prevent Miss Johansson from realizing the full benefit of her bargain with Marvel, the lawsuit reads. Johansson's complaint states that her representatives attempted to renegotiate her contract for Black Widow after learning the movie would be released as a premiere access movie on Disney Plus the same day it hits theaters. The suit claims that Disney and Marvel were unresponsive to these discussions, according to WSJ. I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's probably some truth to that. I mean, once they realize, like I said, you got to be on top of the stuff, and Disney should have been on top of it from the beginning. But again, it's Disney. They don't give a shit as long as they make their bottom line. So it doesn't surprise me that Disney was unresponsive when they tried to reach out to renegotiate the contract. But did you not know, Disney, that she was going to bring this suit upon you when you were unresponsive? If she can't get a hold of you, her agents can't get a hold of you, the court of law will get a hold of you. So that's that. Even before the pandemic, Johansson was reportedly already worried the movie would be released as a premiere access title, and the actor sought assurances that the movie would have a traditional theatrical release. According to an email within the lawsuit, Marvel chief counsel Dave Galuzzi, I hate these names in Hollywood, reportedly told Johansson's representative that there would need to be a discussion if plans changed to, quote, as the deal is based on a series of very large box office bonuses for Johansson. So they're going to, seems like Disney's going to spin this some way. Like, you should have known ahead of time, but she tried to reach out to you. I don't know how this is going to play out in court. I would assume that Scarlett Johansson is going to get her money. That's just me, though. Elsewhere in movie making, Warner Media renegotiated many of its contracts with actors for this very reason. It was previously reported that Warner Brothers paid more than $200 million to talent whose original contracts were based on box office performance, but were changed to reflect day in, day out streaming deals. Like I said earlier in the video, Warner can do it. Why can't Disney? Warner, look, despite some of the stuff that Warner has put out being woke, yes, that's true. Some of that stuff has been. Warner seems to know what they're doing with giving fans the Snyder Cut for those who wanted it, which I enjoyed the Snyder Cut. So kudos to them for doing that. I mean, like I said, they have their stuff. They've got the DC universe. That's the TV shows, which I think, if you ask me, is kind of falling down quite a bit with viewers. But Warner seems to be doing this right, and Disney is trying to circumvent their will against it. So it's like, this is why Warner is winning the entertainment war right now. Personal opinion. Black Widow set a pandemic record with its $80 million domestic box office debut. It also made $60 million on Disney+. However, the movie quickly slumped at the box office, something that angered theater owners around the country. So when you strategically place your movie at the time here, of course you're going to break box office records. You're releasing a movie at a time where restrictions are becoming lifted and things like that. So it's not difficult to reach these numbers. I think pretty much, I think if you look at it, there's been a steady climb in people spending money at the movie theaters from the time that the restrictions started lifting till now. So it doesn't surprise me that it hit, pandemic records, but it's still nowhere near what a Marvel movie typically makes. So yeah, I can see why it would anger some theater owners around the world, because the people who really wanted to see this movie went and saw it opening weekend, and nobody else wanted to see it. That's that, plain and simple. Again, people with big families probably sat in front of their TV and watched it, paid the $30, which I don't know why they do that, but to each their own, I suppose. Well, there it is, folks. Scarlett Johansson is suing Disney+. If you ask me, it's because their movies are terrible and didn't make any money. I don't think it really has anything to do with the pandemic at this point. There are people going back to theaters. As a matter of fact, my fiance took the kids to go see the awful Space Jam movie. I didn't go, of course, because I was busy here doing videos, but the theater was packed, she said. So if you ask me, it's not people being afraid of going to the theaters. People just didn't want to see this movie. I don't think people care about the MCU anymore, and that's unfortunate, because there are some really good Marvel movies out there. And I personally, for the most part, not all the movies, but I enjoyed building up to the end game, and I did, other than the woman scene there in Endgame, I did enjoy those movies. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments down below what you guys think about all of this, about Scarlett Johansson going after Disney. You had Gina Carano stand up against Disney. Now you got Scarlett Johansson standing up against Disney. Honestly, I think we need more of this. We cannot let Disney get away with these awful business practices anymore, where they don't give a shit about consumers. They only care about the bottom line. Anyway, guys, that is the video. Thank you so much for watching. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you hit that subscription button down below. Hit the bell for notifications. Hit the like button. Even if you didn't like it, hit the downvote button. That's fine, too. Let's talk about this down in the comments below. Thank you guys for watching. I love love all of you guys, and we will catch you on the other side. Peace.